Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. And we're now going to complete the last section of the last paper, paper S, in the 2016 Grade 3 Music Theory past papers. There are loads of resources to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. They're available in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. Everything you need to know is found within this PDF for each grade. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and so if you want to revisit some topics or do some extra work on some revision before you approach these papers, you can find it all step by step on those YouTube video tutorials. You can also access information about the books I have available. I've written How to Take Your ABRSM Music Theory Exam, and it's full of tips and techniques on how to best make use of your time as you work up to the exam entry, and also how to best make use of your time when you're actually taking your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, it's all there for you. If you can give me a like, that would be really great, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's lots more in store, and so grab your pencil, your eraser and your ruler, and we'll finish this last paper together. I hope that you've had a look at this on your own first of all, and then we can work through these answers to double check. It doesn't matter if you've gone wrong, it's always best to learn by your mistakes. And so all of the questions on this last page for question 8 will refer back to this little extract here. Now, section A, these questions here in the new exam papers, the revised music exam papers from 2018 onwards, these will now be presented to you in multiple choice format. However, we'll go on and we'll give the definitions for these just because it's good revision to do so. So allegro means fast or quick. Non tanto is not so much or not too much. FF is fortissimo. Forte is one F and the issimo kind of makes it more so, and so it's very loud. That's what that means. This little symbol, for example, is seen in bar 2. So here, that's an accent mark. You first come across that in grade 1, I think, and it means play with extra pressure. Just accent will perhaps do, but might not hurt to give a little bit more definition. The dots above the notes, for example, in bar 11. So let's look at bar 11. So those little dots above the note, not to be confused with dots after a note. That's a timing issue. When it comes after a note, it makes a note half as long again, whereas above a note is an articulation mark, and it means staccato, which means detached, play detached. Sort of a spiky sounding effect. Okay, let's move on to section B. The first phrase has been marked with a square bracket. We need to mark all the other phrases in the same way. So really we just need to get our maths head on. The first phrase is a full 1, 2, 3, 4 bars long, and so let's work out if it can continue in those 4 bar phrases. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see it kind of begins the same, and then we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, so it fits nicely into 4 bar phrases, and so that's what we will do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't even attempt that without using a ruler. Let's look at the next question. Describe the time signature as simple or compound, duple, triple or quadruple. Now this is one of the ones that I think seems to be a little bit tricky, because ordinarily when we've got a time signature over 8, we know we're counting in compound time, and we've got everything grouped in threes. And so 6/8 is duple compound, or we have 2 groups of 3. However, we don't class this as compound time, we class this as simple time, because if we were counting this in groups of 3, we'd only have 1 beat per bar, and that doesn't really function as a time signature. And so we count it as 3 separate quaver beats, or 3 separate eighth notes. And so we would say it was simple triple time. That's sort of like the odd one out in the time signatures with 8 underneath. Okay, just a little bit of observation now in these next little bits. How many pairs of tied notes are in the melody? Now the thing to watch out for here is that you watch out which one's a tie and which one's a slur. It's the same style marking but applied differently. A slur joins one or more notes of different pitch. It could be an umbrella over a lot of different notes, or just next door notes, but they are different pitch. That's the important factor, and that means play smoothly together. So that's a slur, that's a slur. However, here, from note head to note head of exactly the same pitch of next door notes, it's tied. So there is a tie, there is a slur. There is a tie, there is a slur. So we only got 2 ties, the rest are slurs. So just need to keep your eyes peeled there. Name one similarity and one difference between bar 6 and bar 8. Now, I can almost guess what that's going to be. Let's have a look. Bar 6, bar 8. We've got the same timing of notes. We've got the same rhythm, but the pitch is lower in bar 6. And so really, it's very simple. The similarity is the rhythm is the same, and the difference is the pitch. You could then go on to say the pitch in bar 8 is higher, but actually, do you know, the pitch is different, and that answers the question. So you don't absolutely need to do that. Last part of section B. Give the letter name of the highest note in the melody. So let's have a look. We're in the treble clef, and we just need to look. We've got ledger lines here, we've gone high here, but we've gone even higher here. So this is our note. And so we can either count from the F, F, G, A, B, C, or you can count down an octave, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, and know that it's C an octave higher. Either way, we've worked out that it's note C. So the last question, question C of 8, using the blank stave above, so it's conveniently positioned next to the thing we're going to be referring to, write out the melody from the beginning. Just be careful we write out the correct bit. From the beginning of bar 7 there to the end of the music. So we're going from the beginning of bar 7, not the beginning of the extract, to the end of the melody, using notes and rests of twice the value. So we've got to double everything up. Remember to put in the new time signature and group the notes correctly. So at present we are in 3 beats per bar, and they are quaver beats or eighth notes. And so now, in order to be twice the value, we still need 3 beats per bar. It has to stay in triple time, but to double that, we've gone from quavers or eighth notes to crotchets or quarter notes, and so our time signature will be 3/4. That's the thinking bit done, really. So I'm just going to get my bar lines mapped out. Then after that, we just literally double everything in value, and then mathematically that should work out. We might just need to renegotiate some beaming though, and grouping notes correctly. So I'm just going to get the note heads in. So that is a quaver or an eighth note, which is 1 unit value. Here now, double that up. These are going to be crotchets, or quarter notes, which is 1 unit value in our new time signature. So that works out mathematically. That's the same time value tied, so this isn't going to need to be beamed now. And then here we've got 2 semiquavers, which become twice the value. They become quavers, so we've gone from 16ths to 8ths. So they can be joined together, but this one is doubled to a crotchet, so that won't be part of that. That's now a quarter note. So only those two require a beam. And then here, all of these at the moment are semiquavers or 16th notes, which are half this value, and so they're going to become quavers, which are half of this value. So they can still all be beamed together, because there is a rule that says that if it's all quaver beats or 8th notes in 3/4, we can just beam all of those together. It's one of those exceptions to the rule where normally we have to group in units of a crotchet. I think we first come across that in grade 1 also. Just tidying my stem up a bit there so I can show the diagonal. If I extend that a little bit, that'll do the job. There we go. So we've correctly applied the beam with the rule that allows that. So twice the value of this is a minim or a half beat. That becomes a 1 beat now in this new time signature. That doubles to become a crotchet or a quarter note. Let's put the staccato marks in now so we don't forget. There we go. And then, same time as here, the same rhythm will occur, but a different pitch. So that becomes a 1 beat quarter note or crotchet. They become half a beat, they become quavers. The stems can go up now because we can now apply the beam rule correctly, because it's no longer beamed to this. So they are below the middle line, and so the stems will go up. That becomes a crotchet or a quarter note. And then here we've got a quaver note, 2 quaver rests, 8th, 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 and so they will become crotchets, notes and rests or quarter notes. So 1, 2, 3, and the maths now works out correctly. Let's pop some staccato marks here just to add those final little details, and we need a double bar line, mustn't forget that. So everything's accurately now transcribed into our new time signature, and that should score you full marks for that question. I do hope that's been helpful to you. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have. If you have, please give me a like, that'd be fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. There's loads more to come, even though that's the last paper of this book. It's not the last thing that we can be working on. There's plenty more to be going at. And please do visit sharonbill.com to make full use of all the information there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.